The Lisa story followed a trajectory common in Russia's information war with the West. 1. A state-sponsored Russian media outlet airs a piece of fraudulent news, which is then amplified by other Russian media and Russian trolls. 2. A Russian state official cites the bogus report at a press conference or news event. 3. Western media then report on the official citing the story, and the initial false information becomes part of the mainstream debate. 4. Demonstrations are organized via Facebook and other social media. 5. Finally, if and when the story is debunked, the same Russian officials decry the criticism as anti-Russian propaganda. Russian active measures in Germany have a double edge. They seek to sow discord in German society and to boost support for Russia. Putin, who served as a KGB officer in Dresden during the Cold War, sees Germany as a critical target in the Russian information war. After Mrs. Merkel had led the drive for European sanctions against Russia following its annexation of Crimea, Putin ramped up Russian disinformation in Germany. RT opened a German-language channel called RT Deutsch, which parroted the Kremlin's line on Ukraine and published reams of anti-US and anti-NATO stories. Kremlin disinformation sought to exacerbate Germans' distrust toward the mainstream media by calling it fake news. A poll in late 2014 showed that 44% of Germans believed that mainstream media distorted the news. Russia's weaponizing of immigration was also a way of increasing support for right-wing anti-immigration movements and white nationalism across Europe. In Germany, Russia supported anti-Islamic organizations like Pegida. Putin was positioning Russia as the beacon of traditional white Christian values. After Mrs. Merkel's leadership on Russian sanctions, German intelligence warned that Russia was increasing its espionage activity in Europe with the idea of destabilizing European unity and support for NATO. One piece of evidence they cited was a cyber attack on the main servers of the German parliament earlier in the year, which was traced back to Russian military intelligence, the same shadowy group that would later attack the servers of the Democratic National Committee in the U.S. Putin pivoted off the Lisa story to make a larger propaganda point. In a speech to the State Duma a few weeks after the incident, he said that Germans understood Russia's ethnic nationalism and its annexing of Crimea. He likened Russia's quest for ethnic unity to Germany's desire for unification. "Let me remind you," he said, "that Russia had supported German reunification. Our nation," he said, "unequivocally supported the sincere, unstoppable desire of the Germans for national unity. I am confident that you have not forgotten this, and I expect that the citizens of Germany will also support the aspirations of the Russians, of historical Russia, to restore its unity." Perfectly played. They always accuse you of what they're doing. "Want to hear a joke making the rounds in Moscow?" Will Stevens asked me. It was the spring of 2015, and he had been the spokesperson at the embassy there for a few months. "Sure." An American and a Russian are arguing about which country has more freedom. The American says, "I can go stand in front of the White House and shout, 'Down with Barack Obama,' and nothing will happen to me." The Russian replies, "I can go stand in front of the Kremlin and shout, 'Down with Barack Obama,' and nothing will happen to me either." I laughed. Things were pretty grim in Moscow, Will said. After leaving the Ukraine task force and helping start the Russian information group, Will was now in the belly of the beast. It had changed his views on some things. In Washington, he had been an advocate of trying to direct some messaging toward an audience in Russia itself. I'd always been skeptical. I used to joke that we didn't have any subscribers there. Will had wanted to give it a try, but now he had concluded that it wasn't worth it. Not because the government would censor us, but because Russians wouldn't listen.